Hey, you beautiful badass. Today, I wanted to talk to you about something that's been on my mind, and it's about setting boundaries. As women, I think we're often taught to be very accommodating, to even put others' needs before our own. But the truth is that when we're not setting healthy boundaries, we can become overwhelmed, stressed out, or even resentful in our relationship. I really want to encourage you to begin setting boundaries in your relationships and stop that people-pleasing attitude. Contrary to belief, it actually can lead to a lot healthier relationships. Okay, number one, someone has invited you to go somewhere and you just really either maybe you don't want to go or you're just overloaded with things on your plate. And it is okay to decline an invitation. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. And especially if you do so nicely with candor, you can say a couple of different things. Just say, oh my God, that's really sweet of you to think of me and offer to invite me to go with you. But I'm really overloaded at work right now and I need to set some things aside for myself and handle my own priorities. As you can see there, you're being perfectly nice. The person is going to understand. We all have these situations in our lives where we're just too busy or we need to prioritize ourselves. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In my experience, which I've been doing this for several years, 99% of the time, people are non-confrontational when you're just upfront and very authentic about how you're feeling. They could be taken aback if they're not used to it. I do have to say, if you're in a relationship where the person is not accepting of you having feelings or expressing boundaries, I think that that's something that you should take a look at. I've been in those relationships and I always wanted them to change, and I thought if I kept trying another way, if I said it another way, maybe I wouldn't offend them. And I would really blame myself for their reaction of me expressing myself. And I'm not saying I always 100% expressed myself in a calm, kind way. I'm sure that I didn't, but I did majority of the time, and these relationships, my partners just weren't accepting of hearing my feelings. They just weren't capable. So if you're in that kind of relationship, that's something to consider. If you can't voice your feelings and have them be heard and validated, and at least be with someone who's willing to discuss it with you. If you're immediately shut down, it's a red flag, and it's something that you should consider. And only you can consider if this relationship is right for you. If you have someone that's pressuring you for information and you really don't want to give it to them, it could be several different scenarios. Maybe they're just someone who pries into your life and then gossips about you with other people. I hope not, because I hope you don't have those kind of people in your life. But you can simply say, I really appreciate your concern, but I just don't feel comfortable sharing that with you. And it's just something I'm going to keep to myself, keep it private for my own well-being. Thank you for understanding. If you're having a discussion with someone and it's getting really heated and uncomfortable, you can always say, you know what, I really appreciate your perspective, but I think we could just agree to disagree on this one. And that's totally okay. Another thing that to keep in mind is it's okay to disagree. It's 100% okay. That's what makes us unique and different. And it's when those things get heated, maybe it's time to take a step back. In the case that maybe you've lent money to someone and they come back to you again and they haven't paid you back for the first amount, Again, you can just be very matter of fact. Just say, I really can't lend you money right now. You haven't paid me back for the $25 you borrowed from me before, and I have to look out for my own financial stability. If you do so in a calm manner, you're just coming from your true self. You're not angry, you're just stating facts. And if you feel emotional about it, what I would suggest is taking a few breaths before you even start the conversation with them. I know as an ex-people pleaser how difficult it can be, trust me. And what I did is I just began to practice. The more I practiced, the easier it got. And I have to be honest with you, there are still times right now, currently, where it's not always easy for me to set boundaries. But I know that if I want to live a life that's true to me, if I want joy in myself, then this is what I need to do that. And it's about truth. And if you're always living from the truth, that mask of fakeness is going to be lifted, and it's going to just feel way more joyous and authentic. I just want you to remember that setting boundaries is all about taking care of yourself, respecting your true self, and taking care of your wants and your needs, also by taking care of other people in your relationship. It's definitely possible to share your feelings with kindness and candor. If someone asks you on a date and you've been seeing them for a while, you can say, you know what, I really appreciate the invite, and I've been so busy and I'd really like to take some time for myself. And can we take a rain check? Because I'd really like to hang out with you some other time. You're being very real. You're being very candid and kind. And I hope these boundary setting ideas are helpful to you. I know for a fact that it is not always easy to set boundaries, and that's okay. But practice makes perfect, and I'm not just bullshitting you here. I've actually been there. It's taken me years of practice to get more comfortable with these ideas of setting boundaries, and that's okay. I want you to be able to live in your true authentic self. But another thing that I wanted to tell you about before I go here is I have my new workbook out, and it's all about empowering yourself and becoming that beautiful badass that's inside you, and shifting your mindset and letting go of these old fucking stories that maybe you don't know your value or your worth, and maybe you need to work on that and empower yourself and set affirmations and have gratitude sessions. But my workbook's available if you go to the link in my bio. It's very easy to get, and that's it.